Hold on. Put the phone down. Put the snack down. Whatever you about to order on DoorDash, cancel it. Because what I am about to walk you through is the kind of thing where if you take one bite of a wing while I'm talking, you're gonna choke. So lock in. Because allegedly, a celebrity stylist just walked into a private Twitter Spaces audio room, looked 63 grown adults in the digital face, and named names. And not little names. Not blog tier names. We talking Claressa Shields. We talking Hermès. We talking Van Cleef. We talking the dealership the G-Wagon came from. In one sentence. One allegedly screen grabbed, allegedly recorded, allegedly already flying around the internet sentence has now turned an entire Instagram aesthetic into what I can only describe as a crime scene. Quote, every single one of those GIFs was a brand placement. None of them were from him. None of them. Ma'am. Now listen. I know what y'all about to say. Y'all about to say, allegedly? Yes, allegedly. Everything in this video is allegedly. We legally trained around here. We trained, baby. But while we being allegedly, let's also be honest. A fired stylist with receipts is, allegedly, the single most dangerous human being you can manufacture in the entertainment industry. You can fire a publicist. They got an NDA. You can fire a manager. They got a commission clause that makes them keep their mouth shut. You can even fire an assistant. Most assistants too tired to talk. But a stylist? Oh, a stylist knows what's borrowed. A stylist knows what's bought. A stylist knows whose name is on the courier slip. A stylist knows which one of these bags is going back to the showroom in 72 hours. And a stylist, a fired, allegedly furious, allegedly armed to the teeth with receipts stylist, is, allegedly, the person currently sitting on the audio that's about to dismantle Claressa Shields' entire luxury brand from the studs. So let's walk through this together. Slowly, carefully, because we got receipts to lay out, we got captions to revisit, and we got a couple of grown people who, allegedly, are about to find out what happens when your Instagram does not match your invoice. Here is what allegedly happened. There was a Twitter Spaces. Innocuous title, Why Your Favorite Influencer is Broke. Mid-tier room. 63 listeners. The kind of room you join while you're doing dishes. And for the first 22 minutes, this stylist, whose name, by the way, has not been publicly released, and we are not in the business of putting our sources in danger over here, for 22 whole minutes. This stylist talked broadly, generically, about loan culture, about how A-listers pull watches from Patek for the Met, about how fashion houses lend bags for content, about how nothing, and I do mean nothing, on Instagram is what it looks like, and the smart influencers know how to navigate the loan game without ever, technically, lying about it. 22 minutes of industry-wide commentary, big picture, educational, the kind of audio you could clip and put on a TED Talk. And then, minute 23, the stylist named the case study. And the case study was Claressa Shields. Stay with me, because this is where it stops being industry talk and starts being an indictment. Allegedly, Lord, allegedly. Before we go gift by gift, let me tell you who this stylist allegedly is. Or rather, let me tell you who they are not, because, again, we are not putting names on YouTube for the courts to subpoena. But here's the rough sketch. This stylist, allegedly, has dressed 3 Olympic athletes. Allegedly, 2 WNBA stars. Allegedly, one of the biggest crossover boxing names of the last decade. And I will let you guess which crossover boxing name. But you ain't gotta guess hard. Their portfolio is loud. Their industry reputation is louder. And, allegedly, they spent somewhere between 11 and 14 months attached to Claressa Shields' content team. Not as the face, not as the talent, as the pipeline. The person who, allegedly, called Hermès. The person who, allegedly, emailed Van Cleef. The person who, allegedly, drafted the loan paperwork, arranged the courier windows, coordinated the unboxing logistics, sometimes wrote the caption. The whole back of house. The infrastructure. The wizard behind the curtain. And then, and I want you to hear this part real careful, they were, allegedly, let go in late spring. Same season the Bulgari Serpenti disappeared. Same season the petition started circulating. Same season the public narrative around Claressa started getting these tiny little stress fractures. Coincidence? Sure, could be. We're not detectives over here. We are observers. But I will say this. A fired stylist who spent a year inside your closet, your contracts, and your caption strategy is, allegedly, not the person you want walking around free with a microphone. You want that stylist on a payroll. You want that stylist on a non-disclosure agreement so thick it has its own zip code. You do not, under any biblical, legal, or strategic circumstance, want that stylist allegedly logging into a Twitter space at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. But that, allegedly, is exactly what happened. So let's walk through the 5 gifts. 5 gifts. Each one, allegedly, named on that audio. Each one, allegedly, attached to a caption that, allegedly, told one story. Each one, allegedly, attached to a paper trail that allegedly tells a completely different one. I'm going to read them to you the way they were laid out, and I am going to translate the captions for you, because at this point we all need to start reading luxury Instagram the way the IRS reads it. Gift number 1. The Hermès Birkin. The caption, I'm paraphrasing, because we ain't trying to get sued for misquoting an Instagram caption, but the gist, my king spoils me. That's the energy. That's the brand. King. Spoiled. Crowned. The whole wifey of the year theater. Now, the stylist, allegedly, on this Twitter space, said the bag was a 90-day content loan from Hermès. 90 days. In exchange for 2 tag posts and 1 reel. The bag went back. There was no king. There was a loan agreement, and there was a tracking number. No. I'm not saying the king is fake. I am not saying that. I am saying that the king, allegedly, didn't pay for the bag. There is a difference. There is a legal, semantic, content creator survival difference between my king spoils me and a luxury house loaned me a bag for 90 days in exchange for a tag post, and I let the internet assume it was a gift. One of those is romance. The other one is, allegedly, the influencer business model. And the problem is, when you put it under the caption, my king spoils me, you are not just running an ad. You are, allegedly, running a relationship campaign on top of an ad. And that, allegedly, is where the trouble starts. Gift number 2. The Van Cleef Alhambra necklace. Caption energy, he knows my love language. Lord, have mercy. Love language. So the stylist, allegedly, said this necklace was a single event loan. Single event. For an awards red carpet appearance. Pulled from the brand. Worn on the carpet. Returned to the brand 36 hours later. There was no purchase. There was no love language. There was a courier in a black SUV with a clipboard. Let me behave. But I cannot, in good conscience, let he knows my love language stand as a caption when, allegedly, the love language was a 36-hour rental from a courier who probably had to sign for it twice. That is not love language. That is, allegedly, content language. And there is a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate in Paris that does not appreciate being misquoted as a boyfriend. Gift number 3. The G-Wagon. Caption, I cried. He really did it. Now this one. This one is the one that, allegedly, is going to be the most provable because dealerships have paperwork. Dealerships are not, allegedly, in the business of romance. The stylist, allegedly, said the dealership receipt has Claressa's own name on it. The surprise was, allegedly, staged. Papoose was, allegedly, the cameraman. Not the buyer. Not the gifter. The cameraman. The car was, allegedly, financed under her name. There was no he really did it. She really did it. And then, allegedly, she handed her husband a phone and said, point this at me when I open the door. Bear with me, because I gotta sit in this one for a second. If, and I do mean if, big if, alleged if, hypothetical if she financed her own G-Wagon, drove it onto the lot, parked it in front of her own house, walked back inside, came back out with her eyes closed, and then her husband filmed her reacting to the car that, allegedly, she signed for 2 weeks earlier, that is not a gift. That is a performance. That is, allegedly, a one-woman improv production with a guest cameraman. And the whole internet ate it. The whole internet ate it. We were screaming goals under that reel for a year. We were tagging our boyfriends. We were sending it to our group chats with this what I want next. And allegedly, the whole thing was, allegedly, a self-purchased prop with a husband behind a camera phone. I'm not mad. I'm not even disappointed. I'm just observing. Gift number 4. The Cartier Love bracelet. Caption, locked in for life. The audacity. The audacity to put a Cartier Love on, screw it shut on camera, post it with locked in for life, and then, allegedly, send it back. The stylist, allegedly, said this bracelet was a content loan from a celebrity styling concierge service. The kind of service that bridges between brands and creators. The piece was, allegedly, sent back. There is no lock. There is no life. There is a return label and, allegedly, a tracking number that says delivered. So when you said locked in for life, you meant locked in for 10 business days? I'm not laughing. I'm crying. Gift number 5. The big one. The vanished one. The Bulgari Serpenti. $90,000 at retail. The bracelet that, allegedly, was the centerpiece of an entire era of content, and then, allegedly, got pawned, and then, allegedly, never got recovered, and then mysteriously, allegedly, stopped showing up in posts altogether. The stylist, allegedly, said this serpent was the longest-running loan of the entire collection. Almost 11 months. 11 months. Under what was, allegedly, an extended brand ambassador trial agreement. Meaning Bulgari was, allegedly, evaluating whether to convert Claressa into a full ambassador. They didn't. The trial period, allegedly, ended. The bracelet, allegedly, went back. That is, allegedly, why it vanished. There was no theft. There was no pawn shop drama. There was, allegedly, an end-of-contract return shipment. Now hold on. Hold on. Because here is where it gets murky and you gotta pay attention. That allegation, the serpent went back to Bulgari at the end of a trial, directly contradicts other receipts that have, allegedly, circulated. There has been, allegedly, an inventory log from a pawn shop. There has been, allegedly, talk of the serpent being pawned and then never claimed back. Both of these things cannot be true about the same bracelet. So one of 3 things is happening. Either the stylist is right and the pawn story is fabricated, or the pawn log is right and the stylist is shading the truth. Or, and this is the version that makes me want to lay down on the floor, both are right. Which would mean there were, allegedly, multiple serpents in play. Which would mean the loan game was, allegedly, layered. Which would mean the entire setup is, allegedly, more elaborate than any of us realized. I'm not saying it was a whole snake farm. I am not saying that. But the math, allegedly, does not math unless there's more than one snake. Let me move on before I get a strongly worded email from Bulgari's legal team. Moving on. Here is where it gets corporate. Because Hermès, baby. Hermès does not play. Hermès does not play with their brand. They do not play with their PR, and they especially do not play with American reality show adjacent influencers using their Birkins as relationship props. Allegedly. Within 36 hours of that space's audio leaking, an unnamed Hermès communications representative, speaking off the record, allegedly, to an industry trade publication, said, and I quote, "We do not comment on individual content arrangements with athletes or talent." Lean in, because I gotta translate this corporate essay for y'all. When a luxury house, and I mean a real one, a French one, a top-of-the-pyramid one, says we do not comment, that is, allegedly, a confirmation dressed up in a tuxedo. If the relationship had not existed, the response would have been Hermès has no commercial relationship with this individual. That is the standard boilerplate denial. It is 1 sentence long. It takes a publicist 45 seconds to write. They do it every single day. Hermès did not say that. Hermès did not deny. Hermès declined to confirm. And declining to confirm, in corporate communications, is the absolute most polite way to say, you are not lying, but we are not helping you, and we are not going on record because we don't want to be involved in whatever mess y'all about to get into. Honestly, that, allegedly, is devastating, because what it tells us is that the brand placement relationship was, allegedly, real. The bag was, allegedly, a loan. And the caption, "My king spoils me," was, allegedly, content theater performed for an audience of millions of people who were, allegedly, sold a love story that, allegedly, came with a courier slip. I have to take a breath. I have to take a breath because I'm getting heated. Okay, let's keep moving. So what has Claressa done in the 72 hours since this audio dropped? Because she has not, allegedly, addressed the spaces directly. There has been no statement. There has been no press release. There has been no Instagram live where she logs on, looks into the camera, and says this is a lie. None of that. What there has been, allegedly, is 3 moves. And the internet has already clocked all 3 of them. Move number 1. She posted a workout reel. Just her. No jewelry. No bags. No, my king. No spoiled. No luxury accessories of any kind. Just her in a gym. Wraps on her hands. Sweat on her forehead. The caption was one word. One word. Earned. 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 Now, I'm not saying that as a panic reel. I am not saying that. I am saying that if you had spent 2 years of your public-facing life captioning every Birkin like it fell from heaven, and then within 72 hours of an alleged stylist expose, you suddenly post a sweat-drenched gym reel with the word earned on it, the internet is, allegedly, going to read that. And the internet, allegedly, reads everything. Move number 2. She unfollowed 3 accounts. 3. None of them, allegedly, A-list. None of them, allegedly, the kind of accounts you'd expect a celebrity to unfollow. All 3 of them, allegedly, mid-tier fashion and lifestyle accounts that had been tagging her in luxury content for the last 2 years. The same accounts that, allegedly, had been amplifying this spoiled queen narrative across the entire luxury Instagram ecosystem. So why unfollow them now? Why unfollow them this week? Why unfollow them in the same 48-hour window as a Spaces audio circulating with your name on it? I have a theory. The theory is, allegedly, distance. You unfollow the people who are carrying the narrative when the narrative becomes a liability. You start putting space between yourself and the aesthetic so that when the aesthetic gets dragged, you don't get dragged with it. It is a known PR maneuver. It is what we call, in the business, the soft untag. And allegedly, she is, allegedly, executing it in real time. Move number 3. And this one is the one that, allegedly, undid her by accident. And I gotta sit in this one for a minute, because the more I look at it, the more I am convinced that whoever runs her social media, and at this point I have, allegedly, questions about whether that is her or whether it is, allegedly, a team member who is, allegedly, very, very tired. Somebody, allegedly, made the worst content decision of the entire quarter when they hit post on this one. Because what she posted is not a clapback. What she posted is not a denial. What she posted is, allegedly, a confession with a serif font. She posted a story. Black background. White text. 5 words. When the truth comes out, half of y'all will owe me apologies. Ma'am. 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 Listen to me. Listen to me carefully. That story has been up for, allegedly, 48 hours and it has not been deleted. The 19-minute deletion window came and went. The 2-hour deletion window came and went. We are now well past the point of she posted it in anger and took it down. She is, allegedly, committing to that statement, standing on it, letting it ride. But here is the problem with that statement, and I want you to read it with me one more time. When the truth comes out, half of y'all will owe me apologies. When the truth comes out. When the truth comes out. Sis, if the truth has not yet come out, then what was on your Instagram for the last 2 years? Was that not the truth? Were the captions not the truth? Was the king not the truth? Was the love language not the truth? Was the Cartier locked in for life not the truth? Because if you are now telling us that the truth is still coming, that means whatever we have been looking at for 2 years was, allegedly, not the truth. Which means you have, allegedly, just confirmed the stylist by accident in 5 words on a black background. I am not saying she walked into the trap. I am saying she allegedly built the trap, decorated the trap, lit the trap, sponsored the trap, and then walked into the trap herself in branded house slippers. Honestly, and I want to take a quick aside before we move on, because there is a generational layer to this that I do not want y'all to miss. We are watching, allegedly, the first wave of millennial and Gen Z female celebrities discover, in real time, that the luxury Instagram economy they grew up watching, the one that made Kim Kardashian and the Real Housewives franchise possible, is now, allegedly, eating its own. Because that economy was, allegedly, built on the idea that you could project a lifestyle that was 3 financial brackets above your actual income, monetize the projection through followers, use those followers to land a real deal, and then eventually catch up to the projection. Fake it till you make it, but professionalized, with a stylist on payroll and a publicist on retainer. That model, allegedly, worked for about a decade. It worked because the audience was, allegedly, gullible. It worked because the brands were, allegedly, complicit. It worked because nobody on the inside had a financial incentive to talk. But, allegedly, that has changed. The audience is now, allegedly, fluent in the loan and caption game. The brands are now, allegedly, being more aggressive about contract enforcement. And the insiders, the stylists, the assistants, the publicists who got fired and signed weak NDAs, are now, allegedly, going on podcasts, going on Twitter Spaces, going on TikTok Live with their faces blurred. And the whole architecture is, allegedly, starting to leak from every seam at the same time. Claressa is, allegedly, just the case study that broke this week. There will, allegedly, be another one next week, and another one the week after that. We are, allegedly, in the middle of an industry-wide audit that nobody officially called for, but the universe, allegedly, decided was overdue. Moving on. Now we gotta talk about Papoose. Because if the stylist is right, and the dominoes, allegedly, suggest the stylist is right, then the entire supportive king who spoils his queen narrative was, allegedly, scripted. And if it was scripted, then Papoose, allegedly, is not even the loving husband from the captions. He is, allegedly, the cameraman. He is, allegedly, the prop. He is, allegedly, the man holding the iPhone while the actual financing, the actual courier pickups, the actual contracts happened off camera, off screen, off the books, with somebody else's signature on the paperwork. That is, allegedly, devastating to his entire personal rebrand. Papoose has spent the last several years building a new identity. He is no longer just rapper husband of Remy Ma. He has been trying to become, allegedly, the supportive king archetype, the man who shows up, the man who lifts his woman, the man who spoils, the man who provides, the whole iconography. And it was working. The internet was buying it. The Papoose is a real one. Tweets were doing numbers. The "this is the kind of husband I want" reels were going viral. He had, allegedly, successfully content laundered himself into a new generation's mind as the gold standard for what a husband should be. And if every gift was a brand loan and every caption was a script, then Papoose was, allegedly, not the king of any of it. He was, allegedly, the cameraman. He was, allegedly, the extra. He was, allegedly, a hired hand in his own marriage's content strategy. Hold on. I gotta sit with that. Because that is brutal. That is brutal. And if it's brutal for him, and it is, then there is one other person sitting in a very, very quiet corner of the internet right now, allegedly, with her feet up, allegedly, drinking something cold, allegedly, doing absolutely nothing. And that person, allegedly, is Remy Ma. Because Remy, allegedly, watched this whole pageant from her own end of the timeline. Remy, allegedly, watched her ex's new branding strategy roll out across Instagram in real time. Remy, allegedly, watched the captions get bigger. Remy, allegedly, watched the bracelets get shinier. Remy, allegedly, watched the king and queen aesthetic become a content category. And Remy, allegedly, said absolutely nothing. Because she didn't have to. Because the unraveling was always going to do the work for her. There is a kind of patience that only women who have already been through it have. And Remy, allegedly, has that patience. She did not need to clap back. She did not need to subtweet. She did not need to do any of the things the internet was waiting for her to do. She just had to, allegedly, sit there. Let the loans pile up. Let the captions accumulate. Let the brand placement stack. And then wait for one fired stylist on one Twitter space at minute 23 to do, allegedly, the work she was never going to do herself. And if you don't think Remy is, allegedly, in her living room right now with a face mask on, watching the timeline like it's pay-per-view, you don't know Remy. Remy is, allegedly, the kind of woman who keeps her composure on purpose because composure, in this game, is the most expensive currency you can hold. Composure means you don't have to comment. Composure means the timeline does the work for you. Composure means when somebody asks you 6 months from now what you think about all this, you can tilt your head, smile a very small smile, and say, I don't really keep up with all that. And the entire internet will, allegedly, frame it for you. Composure, allegedly, is undefeated. And Remy, allegedly, has it on tap. Bear with me. We're not done. Because we still gotta talk about the part that is, allegedly, going to hurt long term, which is the brand dominoes. Here's how this works in the luxury industry. Brands talk to each other. They do. They are gossiping ecosystems. They are tight-knit. The PR people at Hermès, the PR people at Van Cleef, the PR people at Cartier, the PR people at Bulgari, the PR people at the Mercedes North America Luxury Communications team. These people, allegedly, know each other. They go to the same dinners. They go to the same fashion weeks. They sit on the same panels. And right now, allegedly, every single one of them is on the phone with each other comparing notes. Because if Hermès, allegedly, was approached for a Spaces follow-up and declined to confirm, which, again, in corporate speak is, allegedly, a confirmation, then Van Cleef knows. Cartier knows. Bulgari knows. Mercedes knows. The luxury industry is a small, expensive, gossiping village. And right now, allegedly, every brand that ever loaned Claressa a piece is conducting an internal audit on whether her caption strategy violated their content agreement. And here is the part that, allegedly, is going to be the death blow. Almost every single brand loan agreement, almost every single one of them, has one inviolable clause buried in Section 4 or 5, depending on the brand. And that clause says, in plain English, you, the content creator, cannot misrepresent the loan as a personal purchase or a personal gift. You cannot. It is, allegedly, one of the most aggressively enforced clauses in the entire creator economy legal stack, because it protects the brand. Because if you say, my king got me this Birkin, when the Birkin is, allegedly, a 90-day loan from Hermès, you are, allegedly, manufacturing a false narrative on top of the brand's asset. You are, allegedly, using their bag as a prop in your own personal mythology. And that, allegedly, devalues the brand. If Claressa's captions are now interpreted as misrepresentation, and allegedly, they will be, then she could be, allegedly, facing breach of contract conversations with multiple luxury houses simultaneously. Multiple. Simultaneously. That is not, allegedly, a PR problem. That is, allegedly, a legal problem. With wealth-adjacent consequences. With seven-figure clause consequences. With you owe us the retail value of every single piece you ever borrowed plus damages plus the cost of the campaign you used them in kind of consequences. And her Win Records deal. That $8 million music deal that, allegedly, was already shaky. Now imagine adding 3 or 4 simultaneous luxury brand legal conversations on top of that. That is not a brand collapse. That is, allegedly, a brand burial. In a custom Bulgari coffin she does not actually own. Let me behave. Let me behave. So where does this go? Where does this end? Because I have, allegedly, 3 predictions, and I am going to lay them out for y'all right now. In order, with confidence. Prediction 1. The stylist will be named publicly within 14 days. 14 days. There will be a coordinated attempt, allegedly, by Claressa's team to discredit them before that happens. The stylist's old clients will, allegedly, get phone calls. The narrative, allegedly, will become, this stylist is unreliable, they were fired for cause, do not trust anything they say. The whisper campaign, allegedly, will start in industry circles first and then trickle out to the blogs. But here is the thing. If you are the stylist and you have, allegedly, already gone on a Twitter space with 63 listeners and named 5 gifts and given the timeline, then you have, allegedly, anticipated this. You have, allegedly, prepared. You have, allegedly, receipts ready. You have, allegedly, group chats screenshotted, emails archived, invoices saved to a cloud drive with 2-factor authentication. A fired stylist who, allegedly, has decided to talk is, allegedly, not a stylist who showed up to the fight without armor. Trust me on that one. Prediction 2. Claressa will post one more earned reel. Then she will post a blessed reel. Then she will post a haters can't stop me reel. And within 7 days, she will, allegedly, pivot back to full-time athlete content. The luxury content will, allegedly, quietly disappear from her grid. The bags will, allegedly, stop showing up. The bracelets will, allegedly, stop being tagged. The pivot will, allegedly, be too clean, too sudden, too convenient. And the internet, allegedly, will clock it. Because we always clock it. We are, allegedly, the most observant generation that has ever had access to a search bar. We see the unfollows. We see the archive moves. We see the caption deletions. We see the grid scrubs. We see all of it. And we, allegedly, do not forget. Prediction 3. Hermès will issue a formal statement within 21 days. It will, allegedly, be bland. It will, allegedly, be legally airtight. It will, allegedly, end the relationship without ever naming the relationship. It will, allegedly, say something like Hermès maintains the highest standards for our brand partnerships, and we evaluate all such relationships on an ongoing basis. It will, allegedly, contain not a single proper noun, and that, allegedly, will be the death certificate. Because when Hermès stops associating with you publicly, the rest of the luxury industry, allegedly, follows. Domino number 1 falls. Domino number 2 falls. By the time domino number 5 falls, your luxury Instagram has, allegedly, been reduced to a shine hall with good lighting. Honestly, now before I let y'all go, I want to do one more thing. I want to zoom out. Because this is bigger than Claressa. This is bigger than Papoose. This is bigger than Hermès. This is, allegedly, about the entire architecture of luxury influencer culture. And the fact that, allegedly, this entire industry has been built on a quiet, well-organized lie that nobody on the outside was supposed to be smart enough to figure out. Because here is what the loan game, allegedly, looks like at scale. Brand sends piece. Creator wears piece. Creator captions piece as a gift from my king, or treated myself, or I worked hard for this. Audience absorbs piece as a marker of the creator's wealth, taste, and lifestyle. Aspirational economy gets activated. Followers, allegedly, get sold a mythology. Brand gets free narrative leverage in addition to the tag post. Piece goes back to the brand 30, 60, 90 days later. Repeat, 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 for years. And, allegedly, nobody questions it. Because the captions are romantic enough. Because the unboxing videos are emotional enough. Because the I cried reels are convincing enough. Because the entire infrastructure is, allegedly, designed to make you believe that the creator owns the lifestyle she's depicting, when in fact, allegedly, she is, allegedly, renting the lifestyle on a 36-hour schedule and posting it before the courier comes to pick it up. So when this stylist, allegedly, walked into a Twitter space and named the case study, the case study was not just Claressa. The case study was, allegedly, the entire model. The whole pretense. The whole arrangement. And every other creator who has built their brand on the same loan and caption infrastructure is, allegedly, watching this story very, very carefully right now. Because if Claressa goes down for this, then the precedent is set. Then the audits start. Then the lawsuits start. Then the captions, allegedly, get a whole lot more honest. Or, allegedly, a whole lot more vague. Either way, the era of my king spoils me over a courier pickup Birkin is, allegedly, on borrowed time. Pun, allegedly, intended. Honestly, I gotta say one more thing, and then we wrapping up. Because some of y'all in the comments are about to type, but all influencers do this. And you are, allegedly, correct. All influencers do, allegedly, do some version of this. But not all influencers do it under the caption, "My king spoils me," with a man standing next to them taking credit for the loan. Not all influencers turn a brand placement into a relationship campaign. Not all influencers build a 2-year public-facing mythology of married luxury on top of, allegedly, a stack of courier slips. There is a difference between participating in the loan economy and, allegedly, weaponizing the loan economy to construct a fake love story for content. And that, allegedly, is what this is being accused of, not the loans themselves. The narrative built on top of the loans. And that, allegedly, is the part the luxury houses are, allegedly, furious about. Because Hermès doesn't mind being the bag in the photo. Hermès minds being miscast as the boyfriend. Anyway, let me wrap up. We've been here too long. Y'all gonna be late for work. And before I do wrap up, I want to do one final thing. Because I owe it to y'all to be fair. I owe it to y'all to give Claressa, allegedly, the cleanest possible path out of this if she wants to take it. Because contrary to what the internet thinks, I am not in the business of burying people. I am in the business, allegedly, of reading the receipts and reporting the read. There is a difference. So here is, allegedly, what Claressa could do, hypothetically, to get out of this. She could, allegedly, do an interview. A real one. Long form. No publicist in the room. No carefully worded notes app statement on Instagram. Just her, sitting down, looking into a camera, and saying, yes, the bags were loans. Yes, the bracelets were loans. Yes, the G-Wagon was financed under my name. Yes, the captions were romantic because that was, allegedly, the brand we were building together. We were not lying about the loans. We were, allegedly, building a fantasy that we thought our audience understood the rules of. We were wrong. I am sorry. Here is the new chapter. That, allegedly, would work. That, allegedly, would reset the conversation in 24 hours. The internet, allegedly, forgives radical honesty. The internet does not, allegedly, forgive a black background story that says, when the truth comes out, half of y'all will owe me apologies, while the truth is, allegedly, already coming out and the apologies, allegedly, are about to be owed in the other direction. Whether she takes that off-ramp is, allegedly, on her. But the off-ramp is, allegedly, there. For now, off-ramps, allegedly, close after about 96 hours. The clock is, allegedly, ticking. Tick-tock, sis. Tick-tock. The receipt was always going to be the loan agreement. The truth was always going to be in the courier slip. The internet was always going to find the gap between spoiled by my king and, allegedly, borrowed from Hermès for 2 tagged posts. And the stylist, the fired, allegedly furious, allegedly armed with screenshots of the loan paperwork stylist, was always going to be the person to drop the audio. Because that is what fired stylists, allegedly, do. They go to their living room, they pour a glass of something cold, they log into a Twitter space at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, and they name names. They name names. They name names. So smash that subscribe button. Drop the word borrowed in the comments below if you've been suspicious about that Hermès pile since 2024. Drop courier in the comments if you think Hermès finna make a formal statement before the 21-day window is up. And drop ma'am in the comments if you, allegedly, think Claressa just walked into her own trap on a black background with white text. When the stylist gets named, you hear it here first. Karma's chief correspondent, signing off. Stay receipts ready. Catch me in the next one. We out.